All right, so we're looking at the 1-9 practice, the exponents with rational number bases. Remember, rational numbers does include whole numbers, but it also includes, fractions and decimals as well. Okay, so I put some videos on here if you needed help with the decimal and the fraction multiplying. Hopefully you use those. All right, so the first one we have 2.5 squared or 2.5 to the second power. So that's 2.5 times 2.5. So I put a dot, you can put an X, you can whatever. Okay, so now we're going to do 2.5 times 2.5 like this. All right, so that's going to be 125. Then here, this is going to be 50. So when you're multiplying with decimals, you just do the problem, pretend the decimals aren't there. And then at the end, you see how many decimal places were in the problem. So that's 1, 2. So we're going to move the decimal over to right there. So we're going to have 6.25 for A. All right, B, we have 0.02 or 200ths to the third power. So 200ths times 200ths times 200ths. Okay, be careful of this. I expect that I'm going to find some people put 0.06 or something like that. No. This is not a hard problem if you follow directions. That's the reason I put this one on here, one like this, because I wanted you to see why it's important to do it the correct way. So that's a 4. And then you count the decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means we need 1, 2, 3, 4 decimal places. So now, to finish the problem, we need to do 0.0004 times 0.02. Simple. 4 times 2 is 8. Great. Then we have how many decimal places? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, did I do that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. So that means our answer here is going to be, you can put the 0 in front or not. And then we have 3, 4, 5, and the 8. So again, if you follow the directions, that's not hard. You just got to be careful with the rule. All right, here we have 1200ths to the third power. So it's 1200ths times 1200ths times 1200ths. Very serious about wanting to see that. Okay, so 1200ths times 1200ths. All right, that's going to be 144. I can tell you that right now. So that's 24. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be 0.0144 times 0.12. Okay, so that's going to be 8, 8, 2, 0, which is not going to really matter here. Okay, then the next row, skip your 0. Then we got 4, 4, 1. All right, so that's going to be 8, 12, 7, 1. Now count the decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so our answer here is going to be 0.001728. Again, all there is to this is just multiplying and knowing your decimal rules and your exponent rules. You just got to keep it all together. All right, so let's see. Get some of this out of the way here. Okay. All right, for D, we have a little bit of something different here. So we have 1.4 to the second power, 1.4 squared. So 1.4 times 1.4, okay? 1.4 times 1.4. So that's going to be 1656. And then we're going to have this. So maybe you know 14 squared is 196. 1, 2 decimal places in the problem. So 1, 2 in the answer. So that's 1.96 plus, what is 1 to the 98th power? Well, that means 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. And you can multiply 1 all day long, and it's still going to be 1. Therefore, 1.00 plus 1.96 is 2.96. Okay, now to the fraction part. We have 3/4 squared, so that means 3/4 times 3/4. Fraction multiplying rules, top times top, bottom times bottom. That's it. Boom. All right. There was nothing to simplify, and it was not an improper fraction, so we're good. Okay, 1/2 to the 4th power, and you can multiply more than two numbers at a time. You can do it two at a time if you want to, but you don't have to. So 1 times 1 times 1 times 1, 1. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. Okay, if you feel more comfortable with like this, that would be fine too. All right. Okay, 1 and 1/2 to the 2nd power. Okay, so what I would do first here is I would make 1 and 1/2 to an improper fraction. 1 times 2 is 2, plus 1 is 3/2. And so it's squared to the 2nd power. So it's times 3/2. So it's going to be 9/4. But we don't leave it like that. So that's the answer, but not the proper way of writing it. So top dog goes in the doghouse. You divide. 4 times 2 is 8. So 2 and 1/4, because you read it like this. Okay. Okay, next one. We have 1/3 times 1/3. That's going to be this. So that's 1/9. So we have 1/9 plus 2/9, which equals 3/9. Okay. Now, what do we end up with there? Well, you can actually simplify that by dividing them by a factor of 3. So your answer is actually 1/3. Okay. And finally, we have 275,000 to the power of 0. Anything to 0 power is 1. Aha, tricky, right? Okay, then 1/5 to the 2nd power is going to be 1/25. So 1 plus 1/25 is 1 and 1/25. That looked hard, but it wasn't. There you go. Okay, so make sure you have all the work shown and turn this guy in.